crazy windy today. I took the weekend off. That's why you didn't get a video last week. With working yesterday, a 6th day, I had to go to town today and do my laundry. So while I was in town, I picked up something for dinner, and I'm headed over for my reason for being, ice cream. Look how windy it is. All the dust being kicked up. This is crazy. No rain though, and the snow is melting quickly. It is 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's 41 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and it's just going to get warmer all week long. It's Sunday, the 13th of April, and by next Saturday, we're supposed to be in the 50s again. So 40s accelerating every single day. I can live with that. Ready for spring, man. I want this ground to break up so I can start doing some stuff. So I took a weekend off, basically, like I said, because I worked yesterday, and it was nasty, and still a lot of ice and snow around the property from that last couple of snowstorms we had come through. Even though they were small, they built a little bit of snow up, and I just didn't feel like doing anything. So I cleaned the cabin up, hauled a bunch of stuff off to the dumps today, and then picked up something for dinner, cook up some. I'm gonna be completely lazy, so I bought some Stouffer's Meat Lovers lasagna and some frozen garlic bread, and I picked up a pear and gorgonzola salad, which just sounded good. And then I picked up a bottle of Gnarly Head Zinfandel, Old Vine Zinfandel, because I like to have a glass of wine when I'm eating my Italian food. Now I'm headed over for a big old Rocky Road ice cream. Maybe we'll take a drive over Bridge Access, and I don't know if we'll have any kind of view. Let's go sit and look at the other side of the inlet. It's always beautiful. It's always a great view. I was going to wash the truck today too, but I'm not doing that now. It's just going to get trashed again. I think the grader went through my road again because it was really, really leveled out when I left today. Like they did a little bit of maintenance work on it. And I thought I heard something coming by yesterday. Only having one day off, Sean's not going to get anything done. It's simple. I'm not even going to fight it. It is a pretty day, though. 45 now. Holy smokes. The closer we get to the water, the warmer it gets. All right. I'm going to get my ice cream. $1:20 in the afternoon in beautiful Soldotna, Alaska. Ladies and Sam, how are you doing? So I've had these hens for a few years now. The black's probably 2 years, and the red's probably 4 years now. And I'm still getting a ton of eggs. Hello, ladies. How are you, pretty girl? How we doing, honey? Huh? How you doing? How are you today, huh? You got any eggs for me today, girls? Let's see what we can do about getting them off the nest so that I can get the eggs. As usual, thank you, ladies. Sam's been cantankerous lately. He's charged me a couple of times in the last couple of days. Hopefully he's not becoming a jerk. But I got 7 eggs today. So out of 11 hens, 7 eggs. They're not done laying for the day. Oh, this is my version of the Funny River Lake. Sheet of plywood fell over, got stuck underneath the snow and the ice, and I just left it there. I'm waiting for that to thaw. So when that ground thaws, all that water will suck into the ground like in one day. And at that point, I know that I'm good to go for digging. I'm going to fire up the generator while I'm doing this log peeling. I don't refrigerate my eggs because I don't wash my eggs. So if you don't wash them, you don't have to refrigerate them. I've got a little over 5 18 packs here now, and basically we're looking at about 2 weeks worth of eggs. And I just keep them rotated, right? Freshest, next freshest, next freshest, next freshest, and then these. I'll put a post on the local Facebook community page for Funny River and have those sold. I'm selling them for $8 for an 18 pack right now. I want a special thank you to Melissa. We went to high school together, and she knitted me this blanket on the back of the couch here, and she's always making stuff. It's super awesome. She made me some oven mitts. So these are for pulling hot pans out of the oven. She gave me those. She made this for me, and then I got get out of there. A couple of more little hot pads. But yeah, those are awesome. I love it. Melissa, as always, you know I appreciate everything you do. I love nothing better. I love nothing better than a handmade gift. To me, the handmade gifts are the greatest gifts that you can have. Let's see if I'm plugged in. I am, in fact, plugged into the battery charger. We're going to charge up the main batteries for the cabin today. I haven't started this in 2 or 3 days, so let's see how well it starts. Choke on. Power on. First pull. That thing is just, I love that generator. Oh, where are you at here? Stopped off and got McDonald's after work today, and they gave me the cup of coffee I ordered. And then they also gave me, because I was waiting, there was a long line, a bonus cup of coffee. So I love McDonald's coffee. Anyway, let me show you the tools I work with here when I'm peeling these logs. So I've got the Fiskars. This has got a really sharp edge on it. I use it to take down most of the big knots, except I'm not really fighting those anymore. I've got a regular draw knife, and then I've got a curved draw knife. This is the newest one that I've gotten. I need to work on sharpening these. This one's pretty sharp now. This one needs some work still, but I'm gonna get to peeling on this. I picked up my little Bluetooth headphones so I can kind of rock out while I'm doing it. I just saw a frickin' ermine run under the wood pile. There he goes. Just ran underneath that pile. There he is. You can see him. There he goes through the woods. I don't like ermine. I do not like them at all. I haven't lost any chickens though, so he's staying away from my flock. So I've got all the bark off of this log, and up till about 4 days ago it had about 4 inches of snow on it. And what I'm doing at this point is all this stuff right here has to come off until I get to this stuff right here. So basically, using 2 hands, I draw this knife, and that's probably why they call it a draw knife, across the wood until I get down to bare wood. And that's what I did with these logs over here. And I want to get this one cleaned up. The reason why I don't have the big camera out here today is because I'm just going to kind of cruise and listen to music. But I'll show you an update here in a little bit. Right now it is 2:48 in the afternoon. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next hour. I'd like to have this whole log done and be starting the next one in the next hour. That'd be kind of nice. All right, so I mean, this is like 30 minutes, and I got it pretty well cleaned up. I'm not going to worry about getting. I mean, these ones I got really, really clean. I don't think I need to go to that extreme. So I'm going to peel the next, drop this one off and put the next one up and see what we got going on here. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. I got most of the dead wood and rot and nasty stuff off. So we shall start on the next one. Break time. I peel a little bit and then I take a break, and then I peel a little bit and then I take a break. Imagine if I was in my 20s still, I'd just rip right through these things like a chainsaw, but I'm not in my 20s anymore. All right, well, this log is coming along rather quickly and rather nice, but I'm going to call it a day because it's about 4:30-ish, almost 5 o'clock, and it's getting a bit chilly out here, and I need to make dinner. overfilled my thyroid jar. There we go. Yeah, I'm a little sore. It's bad. I can feel it in my back a little bit. It's not from lifting any weights. It's from that constant pull of the draw knife. And I guess probably spinning the log too. Anyway, I get up every morning, do that little morning routine. This morning I had to hook up the heater. I haven't been running the heater much at all during the day, but I don't want to leave it off while I'm at work because I got those plants going and I don't want them to get cold in that house. But where I was going with this is yesterday I had talked about, I think I showed you the water on the side of the cabin, and that all of a sudden it's just going to be gone one day. And that's how I know that the ground is thawed out underneath, because what happens is when we get the winter freeze up, we had a little rain last night too. When we get the winter freeze up, the water can't escape and go anywhere because there's a layer of ice under the ground. Well, once that ice melts, you know it's melted because any standing water that you have in the yard just gone, like quick. Pretty well drained soil. So this morning I took a peek over there, and that sheet of plywood is almost completely exposed. So we're going to be totally thawed out here, I think, this week. Kind of why the push for getting the logs peeled so that I can get all the other stuff started. I want a decent, busy year this year. I mean, I don't want to work myself to death, but I want a year where I get quite a few things accomplished. And while I always, I seem to get a lot done in the winter now too. Jeez. The summer's when we get all the building done up here in Alaska. I don't care what part of Alaska you're in. The summer's when most of that gets done. And I kind of revamped things. I mentioned that there was no video last week. I'm kind of trying to revamp my schedule so I can be more productive, get more done, and give myself some more free time to get out and enjoy the reason why I moved here, Alaska. So my routine used to be, work all week long, struggle to get something done on the weekend, edit video on Monday, or do laundry on Monday, edit video on Tuesday, try and get it uploaded by Wednesday for a Friday video. And now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to work all week long, plus the weekend, plus Saturday anyway. And then Sunday morning I'm going to go back to doing laundry in town on Sunday. I can run a few errands in town, pick up a nice meal for Sunday supper, and then come back home and edit video on Sunday and get it uploaded, so that I have all week to end Saturday to get as much done as possible. We'll see how that works. I've changed my personal schedule up a couple of times to try and get more productive. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This worked for a couple of years. But yeah, I need to just have that little extra time to get a couple of more things done every day. It'll make a big difference, I think, for me. Anyway, I'm headed to work now. It's 3:45 in the morning, so I'm going to be about 10 minutes late. Like I said, we got a little bit of rain, 37 degrees. We're looking at 50 degrees by Sunday, high 40s all week this week. And that's all I got to report to you now. Touch bases again. If I do anything interesting after work, I'll hook up with you then. But yeah, Wednesday's the busiest day of the week for me at work because I've got my biggest freight load, and our new ad breaks every Wednesday in grocery retail in the Safe Room Mall. So I've got to make sure I'm all right for that. Yeah, nice and dark, all cloudy, so I can't see any northern lights, but northern lights have been pretty active again lately. I'm going to get my tail to work, stop off, get coffee and a muffin. That's right across the street, and then get busy. Hope you guys have a great day. So I just got home, and it is Friday. And on a good note, the ground gave. So everything is completely thawed out. That puddle over there is just a low spot where the water will collect. But when the rain stops, it'll drain right out. It's pretty amazing how quickly, once the ground goes down, everything goes with it. The water was almost to that bottle again. Just crazy. I'm gonna have to figure something out about that this year. Have to maybe run something over there, a piece of equipment over there where I can drain it back into the woods. But that's the good news. The good news is that since the ground has released, that means that I can start pulling stumps. And normally I'm off weekends. The bad news is I have to work this Saturday, so I'll have to work tomorrow. Oh well, what am I going to do? I'm going to fire up the generator, top off some electrical around here, because obviously I'm not getting a whole lot of solar with the sky looking like this. And then pretty much just veg out a bit for this afternoon, I guess. I'm not really going to work in the rain. There's no reason to. I'll kick back. I got to go to work tomorrow, so we'll get some stuff done after I get back from work. All right, just got home. Having to work all day today. Got some northern lights this morning. I'll show you that in a minute. Hello, ladies. I've got an egg carton. But remember what I was saying yesterday, that once the rain stopped, the water would be gone? It is gone completely. So the ground has completely thawed out, which is super awesome. They need some food, and I need to collect their eggs, so I'm going to get that taken care of real quick. And then probably package up some sausage I picked up today in town. All right. All the chickens have been watered. And I stopped off and picked up some stuff for the pantry today. I've got these Tarantino breakfast links. If you're a sausage fan like I am, because I'm a huge sausage fan, do yourself a treat. Look for the New York style sausage. And that's the best way that I can describe those as. Because they've got the skin on. They don't have the fake casing. I'm not a fan of the fake casing. Got a couple of things of buy one, get one free vitamin C, so that'll go into the pantry. A couple things of shredded cheese, a couple of things of aged Swiss. This was 50% off a big 3-pack of kielbasa. That is 42 ounces. So one of those is bigger than the regular Polska kielbasa rope that you buy in the store. They're like $4 each for those on sale. Almost 30 cents off a gallon. So yeah, not a lot to show you this week because the weather was not going to cooperate with me. And that is frustrating. But as you saw, the ground has thawed out. And with the ground thawing out, that means I can start to get busy on actual outside projects. But first things first, I'm going to go ahead and get this done, and then I'm going to get on my regular routine of, I'll do some work outside today, but I'll get on my regular work routine of laundry on Sunday again. And then I'll be editing video on Sundays from now on as well. Look at these, right? These are tied together. I absolutely love this sausage. It is so good. Do 5 links at a time, because that's what I like for breakfast. I don't know how well this is going to work. Pull it up. Pull the truck up and see if I can't yank the stump out. Got 4x4 low. This one was going to be easy. right, let's see if this one works. Say no. I'm gonna have to think that we're gonna have to go to plan B, because I'm not gonna tear this driveway up. To yank that stump out, it didn't even move. So I don't think I even budged that stump at all. This one came out really easy, and I knew it would, because it had actually been dead for a couple of years. When I put the driveway in, that tree was the part of that. But this one is going to be a whole different animal, which means all the rest of these are too. Well, there are a couple of small ones over here I could probably pull, but we shall see. I mean, I want to get something in here to level it out anyway. I spun around and looked at the tire and went, oh, I guess I was in the mud. Oh well. Maybe I'm not doing that today.
Alaska is an amazing place full of natural beauty. This summer, rediscover the state you call home with the Princess Rail Tour to Tahkeetna and Denali National Park. Relax in style and comfort aboard our glass-domed rail cars and take in the stunning scenery along the way. Book now for 25% off select itineraries throughout the...
All right. Another log done, another log up and ready to go. I do wish I had more time. To do this stuff daily. And that again is why my schedule's kind of changing up a bit. So that I can find time to plug away at this a little bit more. Alright, I think we're going to call it a day on the logs. I'm going to have a beer. 10 p.m. in Alaska and the sun is just starting to set. I'm going to bed. I'm done for the day.